Hey there, fight fans. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this episode of Combat Sports Talk. Welcome to Combat Sports Talk, a podcast dedicated to UFC and Bellator discussion, the MMA community, and combat sports in general. My name is Ryan Smith, and we are live for UFC 261, Usman versus Masvidal 2. I am here watching the fights as they go on, and I'm going to be with you for these three championship fights. We're going to go through, we're going to do play-by-play for those of you who may not have the fight up. Maybe you couldn't afford the $69 fee or whatever. You know, I'm not going to be, this is not a pirate stream, but I will give you play-by-play as the action is going on. The next fight coming up is Valentina Shevchenko versus Jessica Andrade for the flyweight championship, women's flyweight championship, 125 pounds. We just finished watching, oh my gosh, the injury of Chris Weidman. There's so much people are talking about right now. I think the biggest thing is the irony of Chris Weidman going down in the same way that Anderson Silva went down with him. For me, I do not like sports injuries. I cannot stand watching sports injuries. I can watch somebody get their face turned into meatloaf. I can watch the bleeding and all that kind of stuff, broken noses. But when you get to one of these major compound sports injuries like what we saw tonight, I just could not watch it. So I have to admit, I stood up, I walked out of the room, waited for them to go through all the slow-mos and the highlights and everything like that. And then I came back into the room. So I don't know what you guys think. Text me in the box. So if you're talking right now, if you can see me talking, whatever the chat box that you have in here, what did you think about that injury? How did you react to that? For me, I was like, oh my gosh, I couldn't deal with it. So let me know what you think. Let me know how you reacted, and just let me know your thoughts here on that. We'll put some of these thoughts onto the screen. So let's see what people are saying right now. All right. While I'm pulling that up, we are going to cover Valentina Shevchenko. We're going to talk about and her fight with Jessica Andrade. Then we got Zhang Weili versus Rose Thug Namajunas. And then we got the main event of the evening, Kamaru Usman versus Jorge Masvidal. So we're going to go ahead and get that ready to go. Right now we're watching them run through the highlights of building everything. We got Kamaru Usman walking into the ring. I'm excited about this card. I'm excited about this fight. Everything about this is really, really cool. Okay. So let's see right here. We've got Chris Ogbuli, and he's asking, who do I think is going to win? Let's see here. I've got this. This is colored in black text. Let's get that in white text so you guys can see it. Give me just 1 second here. Boom. Turn this into white text for us real quick. Boom. All right. Sorry about that, guys. There we go. Who do I think is going to win? I picked Valentina Shevchenko on this one. So here's the thing with Valentina Shevchenko. I think that right now there really isn't anyone at 125 pounds that can beat her. She is about as complete a fighter as you're going to find. The only thing that we haven't seen from her right now is whether or not she can stand up to a tremendous wrestler. And guess what? That's what Jessica Andrade is. They call her Bate Estaca or pile driver for a reason. And so we saw that when she fought when she fought Rose Namajunas, she was able to get Rose up on top and drop her right on her head. That was a knockout. But we also saw Jessica Andrade lose that title to Zhang Weili, a superior striker, a very strong striker. Well, I think Valentina Shevchenko is about as strong a striker as you're going to get. And so we know from the past that people like Joanna Jędrzejczyk has been able to outclass Jessica Andrade on the feet. So all this comes to is Valentina Shevchenko needs to make sure that she, number one, does not let this thing go to the ground and just lets her hands and feet and elbows and knees fly. She should win this fairly convincingly. Now, whether or not she gets a finish, you got someone in Jessica Andrade who is super durable. So I think this is going to probably go all 5 rounds. But the way this thing's going tonight, we may end up going to the bar later because everything is a 1 round. You got the first round 5-minute stoppage after Anthony Smith versus Jim Crute in that leg kick that just had his leg flopping around like that, and then Chris Weidman with the fractured leg on the leg kick there. So if we keep getting these first round finishes and these short fights, it's going to be a quick night. People are going to be really pissed off. I'm ready to have it though. So there you go, Chris. That's who I think. Let me know who you think was going to win tonight. This first fight, Valentina Shevchenko versus Jessica Andrade. Oh, looked like the bone split through the skin. Oh man, I couldn't watch it. When I saw him go down and I saw his foot turn the wrong way, I was like, I got to get up. I got to get out of the seat. I got to walk away. I can't watch this. Now, I just couldn't because I was there when Anderson Silva broke his leg on Chris Weidman. And they kept showing that thing in slow motion. They showed different angles, I was just like, I can't deal with it. Just stop. So this time I was smart enough to just get up, walk away. I can't imagine how excruciating the pain is. And this is a question for you guys. So let me ask you a question. Do you think this is going to screw up Uriah Hall? Because we all know that there is 2 Uriah Halls. There's the Uriah Hall who is prime time, who will go through and could literally cleave a path through the entire light. What is he? Is it light? No, it's middleweight division. I think he could carve bodies up all the way to Israel Adesanya. But at the same time, there's also the mental Uriah Hall who can't actually who can actually function because he's too up in his head. Seeing this happen to Chris Weidman, I think is going to screw with his head. I can't wait to see what he does in the next fight. I think he's done with his career. Yes. They were saying as he was walking to the ring that he had this fight to determine whether or not he was going to be able to make a run. At 36 years old and where he is in his career, he needed this win to justify another run at the title. At this point, he's going to be off a year at least. He's going to have pins in his legs. The healing process is going to take forever if he doesn't get any other complications with that. I think he's finished with his career as well. He has the distinction of having beaten one of the greatest mixed martial artists in the world twice. So he's been a champion. He's done a lot of things, and Chris Weidman has had what I think is arguably a career that's worth consideration for the UFC Hall of Fame. I'll say this: it's a better resume than his coach Matt Serra has. Total turnaround revenge, absolutely, it is a total turnaround revenge. Let's see here. We got Dante. Who do I think will win? I think I'm going with Valentina Shevchenko on this one. They do not have we are 3 fights away from the main event, or 2 fights away and then the main event. So we got 3 fights left. For who do I think is going to win? I think Kamaru Usman is going to win. I think that when you look at what Kamaru Usman brings to the ring, he's got too many tools. Ultimately, Jorge Masvidal is elite on the feet, but this thing I don't think should stay standing as very much. If Kamaru Usman wants to win this fight, I think he'll wrestle. I think he'll grapple. I think he'll keep this up to the cage. Foot stomps and all. Everybody's mad about the foot stomps. Look, if they work, they work. So this is the fight winning game. This ain't the fight entertaining game. Oh, hey, welcome back, Mr. Stormcloak. So it does suck for Weidman. Yeah, there are a lot of people who don't like Chris Weidman. If you watch our main show, John Keys on our show does not like Chris Weidman. But even tonight, we were texting after the injury, and he wasn't. He was not. No one celebrates an injury like that unless you're a Philadelphia Eagle fan watching Michael Irvin take his last snap. But I digress. Here comes to the ring Valentina Shevchenko. She is walking to the ring in her new Venom fight kit. She is in black and gold, befitting a champion, walking out super calm, has her sister at her side. She is looking focused. All right. So I'm hoping she wins for another reason too, because I love the little dance that she does at the end. Like I once tweeted at her like, hey, if you teach us how to do a tutorial on how to do that dance, then I will make a video of me doing the dance. That offer still stands, by the way, Valentina. So if all of you use your connections, let's get her a tutorial, and I will do the Valentina's celebratory dance on video, and I'll post it to the web. All right, so Valentina is just getting there. We got a little bit of ways to go. Typically, what we do for the main event is check the buffer factor. I think this is going to go long, so I'm not going to check the buffer factor on this one. I don't think we're going to get a finish, but you know, when we look at that Chris Weidman, that freak accident, that's pretty terrible. All right, so we are going to, between this fight and the next fight, I'm going to open up the hotline and see if we can't do a little conversation back and forth. So we've never done this before. This is going to be something very new. And so hopefully we can interact. We can have some conversations and see, you know, what you think. You can ask me some questions. I'll let you know to the best of my ability what's going to go on. What a great weekend. UFC 261 tonight, and then your birthday tomorrow on the 25th. Hey, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you, because my birthday is on Thursday, the 29th. Taurus is in the house. Let's go Bulls. And, you know, we will, you know, we'll celebrate it. Hopefully you're going to do a little bit more than me, because your birthday is tomorrow, which is still weekend. My birthday is coming to the end of the week. So, you know, it's still work day. I got to go to work on Friday. All right. So Valentina Shevchenko, she is a minus. Let's see here. No, these are not fights from tonight. No, she's a minus 455 favorite tonight. She's a really, really big favorite. Happy birthday to you as well, sir. Minus 455. So everybody agrees that Valentina Shevchenko should win this fight. Put another bullet in her opponent. So let's see how that goes. I think it's going to go fairly well. All right, I'm gonna scoot my video back a little bit. All right. So, all right, now all we're doing is waiting for the action. Once again, this is not a pirate stream. For those of you who wanted a pirate stream of UFC 261, I'm sorry I can't give that to you. However, I can do play-by-play, and we will do play-by-play tonight. Hopefully, you'll get a good sense of what's going on, the action that's taking place, and then we'll talk about what's going on. So we got, if Valentina wins, then she should get the trilogy with Nunes. I don't know. I think it's going to matter if Zhang Weili beats Rose Namajunas. She's probably going to get the super fight with Zhang. I don't think that that Nunes that we're going to see another one of those. It was a close fight between Nunes and Shevchenko, but I just don't think that we're going to see much of a difference. I mean, trust me, if they book it, I'll watch it, and I'm going to be excited about it. But I think you're probably going to see Zhang Weili versus Valentina Shevchenko at 125 if Zhang can get past Rose Namajunas. You've also got that other Yan Xiaonan, who's also coming up in 125. So you may see Zhang Weili. If she can beat Rose Namajunas, then you'll see Zhang Weili versus Yan Xiaonan, and then you'll see Zhang Weili versus Valentina Shevchenko. Valentina is not super excited about that. All right. So Jessica Andrade, if you think about it, though, Jessica Andrade, she fought, one fight at 125? What was it? Who did she fight at 125? And then, like, her next fight was for the title? Let's see here. Okay, look, mark in your words. Mackenzie Dern is pretty dang good. I mean, that jiu-jitsu is hard to beat. It's hard to beat. Yeah, Caitlin Chikugian, right? So Jessica Andrade lost to Rose Namajunas, and then fought at 125 Caitlin Chikugian, and then got a title shot. So I think you're running into challenges with 125. They may not have enough. They may not have enough people to keep that division stacked. Okay, we got the face-off at the middle of the ring. Here we go. We're going to get started. All right. Let's see what's going to happen here. So you've got Valentina Shevchenko. She is bouncing, ready to go. Very focused face on the face of Jessica Andrade. Here we go. All right, it started. They touch gloves at the center of the ring, and we are off. So Andrade fainting. You got Valentina Shevchenko stepping forward. Leg kick misses by Jessica Andrade. Outside leg kick by Valentina Shevchenko. It lands. Just touching. Quick jab by Valentina. Head kick attempt just easily blocked by Jessica Andrade. So right now, bull rushing by Jessica Andrade, but out of the way goes Valentina Shevchenko. Valentina throws a quick jab in response. So we're just finding each other's range right now. Once again, another leg kick that is easily avoided by Valentina Shevchenko. Valentina gets another left jab right down the pipe. Actually, it's a jab, left jab. She's right-handed. She's an orthodox fighter. Okay, here we go. All right, another attempted kick easily blocked by Valentina Shevchenko. So we're, Jessica Andrade, lots of head movement, trying to find her way in. All right, there we go. Valentina Shevchenko is wrestling the wrestler, gets a full body lock, and gets Jessica Andrade onto the ground. Very quickly, though, Jessica Andrade gets back up. This is not where Valentina Shevchenko really needs to be fighting, but I understand what she's doing. Another takedown, though. She's got the body lock. She's climbing over, trying to take the back, but once again, Jessica Andrade stands right back up. This is not where Valentina shines, but I know she's trying to show that she can do this. So this is going to be a grueling fight for Valentina Shevchenko if she wants to do this. This is not her game. She's catching little elbows to the head. Another takedown. She's still riding Jessica Andrade, and then as she's coming up, tries to go with a head kick. It does not land, though. So we've got three takedowns. I don't think they're going to score very highly because she didn't do any damage, didn't move any kind of to any better position there. But she did show that she is not afraid of taking down Jessica Andrade. So, 1, 2, 3 punches by Valentina Shevchenko. 2 of them lands. She's winning that striking. This is where she can do it. She's going in, trying to turn this into a wrestling match. And so Jessica Andrade, this is where Jessica looks great. Almost gets Valentina to the ground, has her up against the cage. She's got, looks like an underhook. Nope, not anymore. They're grappling right now. So we've got an underhook and an overhook right now for Valentina Shevchenko, whose back is on the cage. We've got Jessica Andrade throwing these little uppercuts inside to the exposed ribs of Valentina Shevchenko. Valentina's trying to reverse, but not. She tries to go for outside leg trip. She finally gets Jessica Andrade down next to the cage, and now she is in half guard on top of Jessica Andrade, looking very dominant. This is looking very good for Valentina Shevchenko. She's got Jessica Andrade on the ground up against the cage, and she's really looking to start throwing some punches. But once again, we got a rear naked choke. Looks like we're going for a rear naked choke. I don't think she's under the neck, though. I don't think she's under the neck. She may be. It looks like it may be more on the jaw, though. You don't want to tire your arms out, but yeah, it doesn't look like Jessica Andrade is in any trouble. But she is trying. She gave it up. Okay, she's trying to get the back. She's got one hook in. Valentina Shevchenko is on the back of Jessica Andrade. She's got her one hook in. She's got one arm trapped, and she's looking to try to potentially get that second hook in. Nope, she gives up the hook. She's going to try to control Jessica Andrade, but Jessica is back on her feet, starting to work her way into a better position here. So we've got knees so Valentina Shevchenko's throwing knees. And she still has a body lock on Jessica Andrade. Jessica is not able to do very much in this point. She's throwing these body shots, but there's not a lot of power on them because she's throwing them all the way across her body back to Valentina Shevchenko. So Valentina is got the control, and she's just got to figure out what she's going to do with it right now. So I don't know right now if they're gonna try to break this up or what. But right now we've got just the grappling taking place on the cage. Not a lot of movements going on right now. Andrade is trying to spin in and try to get her arms in, but right now, she's got a knee body shot, and then another takedown by Valentina Shevchenko. She is now in side control. Okay, near the side of the ring, trying to look for a better position here, and it looks like she's got Andrade's head cradled, and now Valentina Shevchenko is throwing punches to the head and to the body of Jessica Andrade. This is looking very good for Valentina Shevchenko right now. We've got 3 seconds left. 2, 1. That is the end of the very first round. I think this is an easy 10-9 round for Valentina Shevchenko. I have never seen her wrestle. We were talking about this right before the fight started. Can she wrestle? Will she be able to handle Jessica Andrade wrestling? The answer is yes. She actually took the wrestling to the wrestler, and there was basically nothing that Jessica Andrade got done in the first round. This is fully a round 1, 10-9 for Valentina Shevchenko. I am super excited. That is great. Like, now what are you going to say? Like, where is the hole in Valentina Shevchenko's game? I think it's going to be age, that eventually you're going to have to just wait for her to get old, get slow, and somebody come up and challenge her. Now, I know that some people are saying there may be a challenger looming in the distance. We'll see. We'll see. All right, so we are between rounds. There is about a minute that they get to recover. Here we are. We're facing off again. And here we go. Round number 2 begins. All right, Jessica needs to do something. She needs to try to turn this into a match that's going to favor her. And so right now we've got them standing in the center of the ring. This is starting to look like a brawl, but no. Oh, the Valentina Shevchenko. Oh, full body lock takedown of Jessica Andrade, and she is in half guard right now. I've never seen anyone manhandle Jessica Andrade the way Valentina Shevchenko is doing right now. This is unbelievable. So we are in half guard right now. Jessica Andrade is on the bottom. Valentina Shevchenko is on top, throwing shoulder strikes to the exposed head of Jessica Andrade. We've got knees coming to the thighs and shoulder strikes from Valentina Shevchenko. But right now she has got Jessica Andrade on the ground, trying to get her leg out and get into a side control position. So this is taking place on the ground, very close to the side of the cage. If you look at you got the center of the cage, you got the ring, and then you got the outside. So we are just outside the center of that center ring in the octagon. All right, we've got a lot of pressure right now for Valentina Shevchenko. She's still in half guard right now. Not a lot's going on. She's throwing just these little punches here and there, trying to stay busy. Trying to, we've got her arm trapped by Jessica Andrade. So Valentina Shevchenko is trying to get her arm out, but it is still one of those things where Valentina is still very much in control. And we know that when you are on the bottom of something like this, your gas tank gets depleted. So we could potentially see in round 4 and round 5 a tired Jessica Andrade. And so now Jessica's trying to get up again. And she's just like a bull. She is so strong. Now she has Valentina Shevchenko up against the cage. It looks like she's trying to get a single leg takedown, but Valentina Shevchenko is doing what she can to keep it from happening. It is not working. It is not working. We got Valentina Shevchenko up against the cage, her legs spread wide, and trying to keep Jessica Andrade could not get the single leg takedown. So she had to give it up. Now she's grappling against the cage, has one underhook. Her right hand is an underhook. We just had Valentina Shevchenko transform that position. Now she has the underhook, just got a nice inside knee to the head. She's throwing these knees, just so much stronger, so much powerful a person. And then another takedown by Valentina Shevchenko. She is owning this fight right now. And now she is in side control. She is in side control right now, and she is smothering Jessica Andrade. Going for the crucifix. She's looking for the crucifix right now. She has the crucifix. She has the crucifix. She has the crucifix, and now it's getting ready to end. This fight is getting ready to end. The punches to the face of Jessica Andrade. She cannot do anything to stop it. This fight is about to end. She's elbows now to the face. There's nothing she can do. She's in a crucifix. She's starting to bleed now. Valentina Shevchenko is just peppering her. This fight is about to end. The elbows are coming down. This fight is about to end. She is working the face, and they just ended it. The fight is over. Valentina Shevchenko just defeated Jessica Andrade with a amazing fight that took place in the deep waters that Jessica Andrade thought that she was going to bring Valentina Shevchenko into. That's a second round finish, y'all. Boom. Now we're seeing them wipe the brow of Jessica Andrade there. She is bleeding. Valentina Shevchenko with the win. This is about as dominant a performance as you're going to have. What can you say about Valentina Shevchenko? She is amazing. I think she's. You said it. You said it. I didn't have to say it. She's a beast. That's it. That's it. Oh, yes. I don't know where you're going to find. I mean, now it's the question of, does she have, can she withstand some Brazilian jiu-jitsu? Does she have the jiu-jitsu chops? Because now she's answered, does she have the striking chops? Went up against Joanna Jędrzejczyk, just owned Joanna Jędrzejczyk, which is one of the best female strikers you have in the UFC. Then you have, can she handle the wrestling? Well, she just out-wrestled the wrestler. Now, the two things that we have to say that, people want to put an asterisk on that is Joanna Jędrzejczyk is a strawweight. Jessica Andrade, effectively a strawweight. So what do we have at 125? Where's the 125ers, the pure 125ers? But I can say this. I think you have people, you're like, Valentina Shevchenko is here, and this is the 125-pound division. This is it. It's a huge gap. It's a huge gap. So, this is pretty amazing. So I'm very impressed by the performance that we saw tonight from Valentina Shevchenko. All right. So we have the next fight is Zhang Weili versus Rose, what we call on our show, Rose Thug No Hair Namajunas. Of course, we've been doing this show back when Rose Namajunas actually had hair. And so when she started shaving her hair, we started calling her Rose No Hair Namajunas. And now we call her affectionately Rose Thug No Hair Namajunas. All right. So the crowd is going wild for Valentina Shevchenko right now because she did her dance. All right, so Joe Rogan is talking to her right now. All right, so let's see what she has to say about that. We're gonna get things together in just a moment and for us to talk. But if you guys have some things you want to say, do like Ulfric Stormcloak is doing, and type it into the box, and let us know what you think. Talk to me. Yeah, so very, very respectful, but at the same time, she is matter of fact about the fact that it was her plan to come into this ring tonight and destroy her opponent, and that is what she did. All right, so we're watching highlights. They're talking. And while we do that, I am going to see if I can't get the hotline up, and I'll give you the number in just a minute, and then we'll see if you guys can if we can make this thing work. All right. Okay. Here we go. All right. So, yeah, there's no call outs, but at the same time, yeah, she's saying, come get some. Oh, wow. So she said, while my opponents are looking for a weakness, let me just say, there is no weakness. All right. Okay. So she's speaking now to her people back home, and so I'm gonna turn that sound off because it is really loud. So when does the Usman fight start? We've got one more fight between this, so the way that fights are going, you probably get the start at about 11 o'clock, maybe 11:10 is probably when 11. I'm Central Time Zone, so in about 45 minutes or so, I would say that the fight is probably going to start then. Okay. So now we are hearing from a disappointed, a disappointed Valentina Jessica Andrade, disappointment on her face. So we'll see what happens there. All right, if you are in the Pacific Time Zone, I'm saying it's going to be about 45 minutes or so. 45 minutes, 50 minutes or so from now. There's one more fight left, so 9:10 your time. Okay, so let's see if we can't get this hotline working here. Give me just 1 second, and we'll open up the hotline. We'll actually talk to you guys, see what you have to say. We'll ask you about your reaction to the Uriah Hall Chris Weidman incident, and then what we'll do there. So give me just 1 second while I get all of this stuff together. This is my first time putting on the hotline, so I need to make sure that we get this done correctly. All right, here we go. Looks like Jake Paul is in the house tonight. So we're seeing the celebrities who are in the house. Of course, folks got a boo. All right, let's see here. All right, bear with me, folks.
Thank you for calling Call-In Studios host and call screener line. Please enter your show number and press pound.
All right. Okay.
That was an invalid show number. Please re-enter your show number, followed by the pound key.
Okay. The main event's going to begin in about 45 minutes or so.
We did not receive a response. Goodbye.
All right, here we go. Apologies for the dead air here. But we will get the hotline open,
Studios host
and then we
call
will be
screener
ready
line.
to go.
Please enter your show number and press
just
pound.
a moment.
Enter your 6-digit PIN number. Welcome, host. You are now in the host room and can manage your callers from the Call-In Studio web interface.
All right, here we go. Okay, let's see if this works, guys. Let's see if this works. I am going to open up the hotline right now. There you go. Should be scrolling at the bottom of the at the bottom of the screen. So give that a shot. Give me a phone call. I'm here in Dallas, Texas. The 214-972 and 469. Those are the area codes that we have. Make sure you tell me who you are and where you're calling from, and then we'll talk the fight game. All right. So, while we're waiting for the line to start heating up here, what we'll do is we will all right. Look at that right now. We got a caller coming in. They're going through the screening process right now, so we'll see how this goes in just a minute. Those of you who are watching, please let me know what's going on. So right now we're screening, and we'll see what happens. So this has been a great card. Let me just go back to the beginning. So we had Anthony Smith versus Jim Crute. Anthony Smith, of course, he is the Lionheart. He is the guy who is really becoming, that person who is trying to rebound after that terrible loss after Glover Teixeira. He did get a win following that fight, but he's trying to make that run back at that light heavyweight championship. You've got Jim Crute, who's coming out of Australia, really got a lot of momentum behind him. So here we go. Let's talk to this caller right here. See if this works. All right. Hello, caller. You are on the air. What's your name?
I'm Ulfric out of DC area.
All right. Ulfric, what's up, man? Happy birthday.
Thanks.
All right. So tell me, what have you thought about the card so far?
I thought that it's been a great card so far. A lot of good finishes. Prelims, there were some great fights there. Sad what happened to Weidman, though.
Yeah, what happened to Weidman is just that is heartbreaking because, of course, he was trying to make that turnaround for his career, and to get it in a catastrophic way, to lose essentially your career that way. That's just on the first kick.
Yeah. I mean, if he got this win, he could have potentially had a rematch with Kelvin or another top 10 opponent.
Yeah. So yeah, it's one of those things where it's unfortunate because, of course, he it's just one of those things where I don't think that he's going to come back from that. So, at this point, everything's in the air for him.
Yeah, it sucks. It's an end of an era in MMA. So many legends retiring, getting knocked out. 2020, we had Habib, DC, Cejudo, Silva retired. Now we got Ike knocked out, Connor knocked out. Thing with Weidman. Frankie Edgar got knocked out. Aldo lost to Jan. So many legends.
Absolutely. And we've got It's Guana agreeing with you that Chris Weidman is indeed a legend. And, it's that changing of the guard. We saw this again, probably 7 years ago, 8 years ago, as, really that first group of, the Ultimate Fighter contestants. You've got people like Diego Sanchez, who's had unbelievable staying power. But, that first group, you had them, I'm trying to think of just some of those other guys from Forrest Griffin. They you start seeing them leave because they start taking these big knockouts. Even people like Chuck Liddell, they're changing up the guard. Rashad Evans, who was also a tough contestant. All of these guys. Yes, exactly. And so when we had that changing of the guard, we're seeing that happen again. Now, for some people, I've had conversations with Jose Aldo. We treat him like he's old because he's been here such a long time, but the dude is only like 33 years old. Yeah.
It's weird because TJ Dillashaw is actually a year older than him.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're not thinking TJ Dillashaw is starting to fade away, even though I'm excited to see what he is going to do now that he's coming back into the UFC. I can't wait to see that fight. Who would you like to see him fight first?
Ooh. Well, TJ's fighting Sandhagen.
Yeah, that's right. He's fighting Sandhagen. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, that's going to be a great fight. Winner should definitely get the next title shot.
Yeah.
But if TJ loses, then I'd like to see him fight. I'd like to see him do a rematch with Cruz or maybe face Aldo.
Yeah, that would be really, really good. Either one of those would be a great fight. Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go because we've got Rose Namajunas walking to the ring right now, so we're gonna go ahead and get ready for that fight. But I really appreciate you calling in once again. Happy birthday! Thank you for the support, and for interacting even when we're not on the hotline.
Yeah, I might call back in later.
All right. Okay. Talk to you later. Bye.
All right. Bye.
All right. So here we go. We got Rose Namajunas. I've got one more caller, but this is Kelechi Onyebuchi. This is, of course, is our is one of my co-hosts. So we'll see. Oh, I guess like he hung up. All right. Well, we'll drop that call. He'll call back later. Let's close the let's close the hotline for now, and then let's get ready for this fight as we come in. So Rose Namajunas is now in the ring, and we are awaiting the champion, Zhang Weili. So, of course, her first name is Weili, but due to traditions in China that, they say the family name first. So Zhang Weili is how we address the champion. And so the lights turn red and yellow, befitting the People's Republic of China flag. And here comes the champion. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just let you guys know that I was a bit disappointed in Rose Namajunas. I picked Rose to win this fight because I believe that Rose has the striking that I think can compare with Zhang Weili, but Rose also has the grappling and the jiu-jitsu that we haven't seen tested in the champ yet. Now, I was disappointed in Rose Namajunas because of the fact that she tried to turn this into a political statement, and I'm just disappointed in that because I definitely understand the history of Lithuania being a part of the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, the role of communism in the lives of her family, and China is a communist nation, but China and Russia, China and the Soviet Union are very different places, and we haven't seen Zhang Weili espouse the virtues and the greatness of communism in China. She just hasn't been a political person like that. So, it's definitely one of those things where I was disappointed that Rose decided to turn that into an issue to kind of get her up for the finals. Let's see here. We've got Ulrich. This could potentially be Ulfric. Sorry. This could be potentially greater than Joanna versus Weili. Potentially. I agree with that. And it's Guana. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support. Thank you so much. Tell people about Combat Sports Talk. Actually, the logo's that way. Let people know that we're doing this. All right. So Zhang is ready to go. She's getting her mouthpiece in, getting the pre-fight checklist done, and we are getting ready to see a great co-main event tonight. All right. Here we go. So as we get ready for this, that's the big thing that I'm looking to see from the champion tonight is, can she grapple? Can she do the jiu-jitsu? Her coaches say she can. They say that she is ready and prepared for that. But you've also got Rose Namajunas, who is an excellent striker in her own right. She stood toe to toe with Joanna Jędrzejczyk. That second fight, which was very close, which personally I'm biased. I am a huge Joanna Jędrzejczyk fan. I had Joanna winning that fight, but Rose did a ton of damage to Joanna Jędrzejczyk in the second fight as well. And this could be a stand-up fight the whole time, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen here. All right, so Zhang is bouncing, getting ready to go, doing a little bit of a little jig here. She got a little rhythm. Yeah, I really like Zhang Weili. She seems like she'd be fun to hang out with. A little less solemn than Rose Namajunas. Just saying. She's very serious, Rose is. All right, so we've got the announcement coming in from Bruce Buffer right now. Here we go. Co-main event getting ready to start in just a moment. Really appreciate you guys out there communicating with me. That's what you can do as you're watching this, whatever platform you're on. If you are on Twitch, if you are on YouTube, or if you are on Facebook, go ahead, chat in that chat box. Let me know what you think. We're going to be talking about this fight. I'm going to give you the play-by-play, let you know what's happening in the ring, and between rounds, we'll give you some commentary. I'll let you know what my score is, and maybe you guys agree or disagree based upon what you saw. All right, Rose Namajunas is getting the Bruce Buffer treatment. She is a underdog tonight at a plus 165. That means if you bet $100 and you are correct, you get $165 in return profit. So that means that Zhang Weili is the favorite. Like I said before, if Zhang Weili wins this fight, then she would potentially fight Xiaonian Yan, who is another up-and-coming Chinese fighter who is climbing the ranks right now. I think she's supposed to fight Carla Esparza. I don't know if that fight is actually booked or not. But both Zhang Weili and Xiaonian Yan, they are both from the same country, but they've trained together. They're not friends. They don't really know each other, but they followed the same circle. So that would be an interesting fight. Perhaps they'll have it in Macau or some other place in China, and that would be a great fight to watch. So minus 200 favorite for the champion coming out of Beijing, China, Zhang Weili. All right, there we go. The announcement is finished. We're getting ready to walk to the center of the ring. Packed house tonight, 15,000 in attendance. This is the first UFC fight since last year that has had an audience, and it looks like things are going well. So hopefully there's no fight in the crowd. Only the fights are happening in the octagon tonight. But you know how it rolls. It is almost time. It is almost time. We got one more fight, and then we're going to see if Kamaru Usman gets baptized. I don't know. All right, the fight is on. They meet at the center of the ring. Rose Namajunas is moving, throwing a quick couple of jabs, just trying to find some range. Zhang Weili is just crouching, coming forward, throws an inside leg kick just to tap. No real damage there. Leg kicks have become a big thing tonight. Let's see what happens. Another inside leg kick for the champ. Doesn't really faze Rose one bit. Rose is looking for her way in, throwing some little feints, some little jabs. Nothing getting too close right now to Zhang Weili. We're going to see what happens in a minute. Another inside leg kick with a jab. Both of them land for the champ. Rose is yet to make a connection. Now the champ is showing a little bit more aggression. Rose rolls out of the way. They're standing in the center of the ring. They are on the big monster M. Neither one is willing to give up much ground. Rose is moving a lot. And then she throws a quick jab. Doesn't quite land, but the inside leg kick from the champ does. Another jab for Rose, but it doesn't land either. She's just finding her range. No problems right now for Rose. Rose is just staying very, very calm, moving, trying to find her way in. But neither one of them is leaving the middle of the ring. That landed for Rose. Rose got a quick jab in. Inside leg kick for Zhang Weili. So she's starting to work the inside of that leg, but no real damage. Just taps. We're just touching each other right now. Oh, head kick for Rose. And Zhang Weili is out. Rose just landed a big head kick on Zhang Weili. Zhang Weili is stumbling around the ring. It is over. The fight is over. The fight is over. One head kick and just timber lumberjack Zhang Weili. Zhang is stumbling around the ring asking, what happened? What happened? She has no idea that she just got finished. She has no idea she just got, yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Oh my gosh. Holy moly. This is going to be the shortest card in the history of the UFC. Oh my gosh. This is one head kick, knockout, one hitter quitter. What is going on? What is going on? Rose Namajunas doesn't even know what's going on. She's like, I can't believe I just finished the champ with one head kick. Replay. Let's see the replay here. Boom. Oh, it was almost like a Gabriel Gonzaga kicking Crow Cop with the leg, with Zhang Weili's leg folding on underneath her. Like, she may have some ligament challenges after. Ooh. Yeah, like this, that, wow. Wow. It landed, like as clean a land. Wow, I'm speechless. And I'm not one to be speechless, but this is kind of highlights I like to watch right here. Boom, right on the jaw. So just the bridge of the foot right on the jaw of Zhang Weili. Zhang Weili is just laying fetal position as she's taking hammer fist to the face. This fight is over, y'all. Boom, rocked him. That's Kelechi Onyebuchi's catchphrase here. I do have the soundboard up tonight. I should probably get that all taken care of and up and going for you guys. Get you some sound effects coming in. There we go.
Boom! Rocked him.
That's KC. That's him. Yeah. So you got Pat Barry. Who doesn't like Pat Barry? Pat Barry, I talk about somebody who was a UFC fighter in his own right, and then he decided he's going to be in the corner of his girl. He has been fiercely in her corner the entire time. Oh, look at the red mark. So Zhang Weili is standing now in the center of the ring, getting ready for the announcement, and she just has this big red mark right here where she got caught. Like, blam. right there. So look at that. Matt, hey, if you had Rose Namajunas, like I did, I had Rose Namajunas, and she is crying. Look at her cry. That is Rose Namajunas. That is vintage Rose Namajunas. She got her belt back after being dropped on her head by Bate Estaca, Jessica Andrade. Now she has it back. She is the new champion. So got tweets coming in, got messages coming in from my boys at Combat Sports Talk. Yeah. So you got yeah. So here we go. We got Kelechi Onyebuchi right here. Pat Barry is sus. In what way is he sus? This dude loves his girl, and she just became champion. He's been in her corner for the longest time. So everybody's standing up. Super excited. So yeah, they're looking at the highlights right now. I am stunned, but it is time now for the main event of the evening. His relationship started too early. Okay, got it. No, he look, he knew she was going to be great, and here she is now. She is the champ. What's next for Rose and Wei Li? I think Zhang Yan should be the next shot. Wei Li should rematch Joanna. I like that. I think that's a great idea. If Zhang Yan doesn't have to fight doesn't have to fight Carlos Esparza, which I think is literally that's just like lambs being led to the slaughter. Like, I'm not really high on Carlos Esparza. Don't tell Carla I said that, but I think that she's kind of. I just don't think she can keep up with these guys, Rose, Joanna, Wei Li, and Xiaonan. So yeah, I think Xiaonan, she gets the next shot against Rose Namajunas, and we run it back with Wei Li versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk. I'll take it. All right. So we got Sebastian. He's here tonight. Says time for Masvidal to do Florida proud. Okay, we're going to see. Now, he had 6 days notice, and it was pretty dominant performance by Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman, he's quite the fighter, so we'll see. I personally have Kamaru Usman in this next fight coming up, but this should be a more competitive fight than what we saw last time, which I think was close to 5-0. So, all right. Make your picks now. Type it into me. Of course, we've got Sebastian. Sebastian says he's going for his Florida native, Jorge Masvidal. You got Ulfric right here. He says Usman. I'm saying Usman. I think everybody on our show, except from perhaps George G Money Stalwart, went Usman. I think George went Jorge Masvidal. We've got Kelechi Onyebuchi in the audience tonight. Hey, I'm going to open up the hotline again so we can talk. But he says Naija no de carry last. I know that my accent is my accent is pretty bad, but I'm gonna try. All right, so getting some messages. The crow button's gonna be fired tomorrow. That's George G Money Stalwart hitting me up on Facebook. If you aren't a member of our Facebook group, please do let yourself find us on Combat Sports Talk. All right, let's open up the lines again. Go ahead and start calling in. I'm gonna turn that on. Boom, right there. Hotline is now open. Go ahead, give me a call. Let me know what you think. We're gonna make our picks. We're gonna make our picks tonight. So, all right, go ahead, make your calls. Call me, and we will talk on the air. All right, Matt Sharp, thank you so much for commenting. Might be more competitive than last time, but Usman is going to drag it out for a decision win. Probably. It's probably going to be another decision win. I just want to see a dominant fight. I want to see what Jorge Masvidal is going to do about the superior grappling that he's going to have to face. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and get this call on. All right, hello, caller, are you there? All right, let's see here. Let's see here. Nope, it looks like we did not get the caller. Let's see here. That is up. All right, talk. Hello, are you there?
Yep.
Okay. All right. This is Kelechi Casey Onyebuchi. He is one of the hosts of Combat Sports Talk, calling into the hotline. How are you today, sir?
Hey there. Good to hear from you. First-time caller, long-time listener. Just wanted to say you're doing a great job.
Thank you. Thank you.
And that your Nigerian accent was absolutely horrible.
Okay. Yeah. So for the people out there, how is it Niger no de care las? How's that supposed to sound?
It's the way you're saying Niger. It's
Okay.
Niger no de care las.
All right. All right. There you have it, folks.
Close.
Now, tell the people who are listening, what does that actually mean?
That Nigerians don't lose.
All right.
In general, in life.
All right. Well, no one has found an answer to the Nigerian nightmare. Long time ago, he said that I am a problem. He is a problem. And so, therefore, we're going to see if getting a second shot at him, if he is going to, if Jorge Masvidal is going to be able to solve the riddle that is Kamaru Usman. And there he is, throwing jabs at the camera, looking nice in his red and black.
So I'm still riding with Usman on this. My only concern on this card has been the freak accidents and just random surprises. So barring anything out of the ordinary, I 100% believe that Usman has the most complete toolkit at his weight class.
Yeah, it's tough to deny that. When you look at the people that he's had to face, people tried to question his striking. He's been able to do that. Gilbert Burns. People were saying that Gilbert Burns was one of the most complete fighters in welterweight, and he got jabbed to death. That Kamaru Usman found a way to beat him. Colby Covington, pressure and being able to run, at this high RPMs for so many rounds, and to quote Kamaru Usman, "I broke your face." Like he found a way to win. Once again, he had 6 days notice on Jorge Masvidal. Was able to control Jorge, beat him 5-0. So it's one of those things where each challenge they put up for him, no one has found a way to get past the Nigerian nightmare, and I think that's arguable that is a complete toolkit.
Absolutely. My only last point is the thing that gets underrated about Usman's game is how solid his chin is. Mm-hmm. He's taken some vicious strikes from Masvidal, from Jorge, not Jorge, but from Gilbert in his last fight, and even Woodley got a couple of really clean strikes in that should have stunned Usman, and so I'm just really impressed. And while everyone thinks that Jorge is going to be throwing his strikes with a lot of anger and angst behind it, Usman has shown that he's got the chin to stand up to it.
All right. Well, we're going to see what happens. Thank you so much for calling in. Ulfric, he says he agrees that the chin is underrated. Hopefully it won't get tested tonight. And so since I'm picking Kamaru Usman, I hope that he doesn't get his chin tested, that he's able to keep his face out of harm's way of Jorge's fists, because they can put people to sleep. But I will say this. They were showing in the Colby Covington fight that Kamaru Usman is willing to take a punch to land a punch if that punch is a more powerful one. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen here. We're looking at all of the promo videos and things like that from the as we lead up to the fight. So the fight is imminent. We are excited. We're getting ready to make this thing happen, and then we'll talk some more. But hey, look at the call in line. Give me another call if you guys want to talk. Let me know who you're picking, or type it into the box. Looks like most people right now, as I'm seeing the comments come in, that they are mostly Kamaru Usman. People are mostly picking Kamaru Usman, who is the favorite tonight. So I hope Usman doesn't retire soon. I believe he could get close to GSP's title defense streak. I think you're right. He has at least 2 more interesting fights at welterweight, because you're going to get the rematch of Colby Covington. That's the next one if he wins tonight. And then it's only a matter of time before Gilbert Burns gets there. You've got Leon Edwards, who's lurking at number 3, so you could potentially see that. But that's it. You've got really 3 more fights for Kamaru Usman, and he's got to either decide to move up to 185, which I don't think that that's a good idea for him, or he can retire and try to go out like Khabib Nurmagomedov did. So I see 3 more fights in his future if he can win tonight. If not, then I don't see him lasting too much longer. There's just nothing left for him at welterweight. All right. So we are just watching the promos in, but please do give me a call. Let me know if you want to call in and talk. You can absolutely do that. The number is right there on the screen. Chat in the chat box, whether you're on Twitch, on Facebook, or on YouTube. We are broadcasting simultaneously across all of those platforms. And by the way, my name is Ryan Smith. This is Combat Sports Talk. We are a podcast based out of Dallas, Texas, and this is what we do every week. Talk about the UFC, combat sports, Bellator, and the MMA community in general. You can find us on all of these social media platforms. Let's see here. Boom. It is not coming up. What is going on here? All right. So we'll have to work on that. But I am on a bunch of social media platforms. There we go. Yeah, let me move the lower third so you can see it. That's where we are. So look for us. YouTube is Combat Sports Talk. Facebook is Combat Sports Talk. Of course, on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, Combat Sports Talk. I am Combat Sports Talk on Instagram. And then on Twitter, MMA Podcaster, only because Combat Sports Talk is 16 letters and you can only have 15. So MMA Podcaster on Twitter. There you go. Okay. So let's put this back on. So if Poirier wins the lightweight title, then I see him moving up to challenge for the welterweight title. I don't know. I don't know if I see that. You've got so much action at 155. You know, you got Charles Oliveira, you got Michael Chandler, you've got Justin Gaethje. There's a lot of people to fight if Poirier wins the title. I don't know that just winning the title is enough for him to go up to welterweight and challenge and challenge someone like Usman. I think if he clears out that lightweight, those 3 fights, those key fighters, then maybe I could see that. But I don't think that if he were to just come in and win, I don't think he's gonna get that super fight just right away, unless he looks just extremely dominant in winning the title. Like he's got to blow the doors off of whoever wins between Michael Chandler and Charles Oliveira. All right, so the big man's walking into the ring. Street Jesus, as some people may call him, Jorge Gamebred Masvidal, who's just opening up his bare knuckle MMA, which is an interesting niche. Bare knuckle MMA fight promotion, Gamebred Fighting Championship. So we'll see how that works off. Dude is getting undressed as he's walking to the ring, throwing all of his fight kit into the stands. That's how you do it in Jacksonville when you are a Florida native. Got his BMF belt, walking in behind him. Dude is a fan favorite. How do you not like Jorge Masvidal? I mean, I know that some people may not like his politics or whatever, but how do you not like him as a fighter? Like, this guy is a fan favorite. He puts on a show every single time. The way he's walking to the ring, taking off his sweatshirt, taking off his pants, throwing it into the crowd for souvenirs. This guy clearly understands how to put on a show and how to win fans every single time he comes out. Of course, the BMF belt, he is considered the baddest MFer on the planet, or in the MMA world. Not the baddest man on the planet, because that is Francis Ngannou. But the BMF belt does belong squarely in the hands of Jorge Masvidal. I wish that if they were going to make a belt and give him a belt that he can carry around, that it should be up for grabs for this fight, right? Like, Usman should be able to walk away with the BMF belt if he wins this fight. What do you think? I think he should be. Of course, we've got Kelechi KC Onyebuchi. He's saying literally an average fighter based on his last 6. BMF is a participation trophy, given that he lost. Wow, those are fighting words. I am not going to dignify that with a response here. I'm going to go ahead and close the hotline here. So there we go. We're getting ready for the main event of the evening, and that is Jorge Masvidal and Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman is walking to the ring in just a few minutes. So you got Jorge Masvidal playing to the crowd, wearing his red trunks, red Venom kit. Do you guys like the Venom kit? I think it looks way better than the Reebok kit. I think that when you look at at a company like Venom, they understand the MMA world. They've been a part of the MMA world for a very long time, and so I think that they did a great job with their kit. All right, Kamaru Usman is walking to the ring. Everything is painted in green light. Everything is painted in green light, and he is walking to the ring right now. The Venom kit is dope, but fighters should be able to have their own sponsors. I agree with you. Fighters should be able to have their own sponsors, but the UFC has a compelling argument that I have to say. I got this from Chael Sonnen, and that is the UFC does not need to provide airtime for people who sponsor these fighters. So you get a platform as big as the UFC has, and a fighter walks in with all their kit, and all their kit has all these logos on it. They're giving all this airtime to these sponsors, and the sponsors are paying for the fighter, not to the UFC for the rights to do that. And so that's money that the UFC is leaving on the table. So it makes sense why they don't allow it, but I do wish that these fighters could get their own sponsors, simply because when you're on the prelim cards, you're the first fight of the night and nobody's watching you, and you're actually, paying to fight, because by the time all of your expenses are done, the money you make for winning just doesn't cover all of your costs. Having those sponsors can be a lifesaver for these fighters as they make their career. And so I think that's going to be what's happening tonight. Let's see here. Kelechi says, literally wearing my Nigerian soccer kit and waving my Nigerian flag. There you go. Niger, they know they carry last. Still going to try. I'm going to try. All right. Ryan Buckmaster. I see it for Usman for sure. Usman seems so dominant that I think Masvidal would have had to improve drastically to be a technical matchup for him. 80% Usman wins, 20% Masvidal. I think that's an astute observation. Usman just seems like he's got the full toolkit to work with. Jorge Masvidal, of course, it's got to keep this on the feet. It's got to keep his striking on point, and got to coax Usman into having that type of battle. But I just don't see that Usman is going to do that. I think Usman's going to close distance, make this a fight, a grappling fight on the cage, try to get this to the ground and turn this into a ground and pound type of thing where the wrestling reigns supreme. That's what he does. That's who he is. Got to drop for that. Like to go a little something like this.
That's what I do.
That is what Kamaru Usman does. He is a wrestler. So why would he stand and bang with a striker? Just doesn't make sense. Now, of course, Usman is rocking to the beat there. I've got the sound off because it's hard for me to listen to everything, the commentary going on the fight, and trying to talk and engage with you guys while I'm doing it. It's an early night though. It's 11:04, and we're in the main event of the evening. Kind of hope that this does go a little bit long, because if this thing ends in the first round, shoot, what am I gonna do for the rest of the night? Maybe I'll go out to the bar or something. I don't know. You're in Dallas, go to the Lion and Crown. What? All right. So we're getting the last few minutes of check-in. What we're gonna do is, of course, as is tradition, we're gonna set up for the buffer factor. So I think this is a good comment from Kelechi in the background there. Usman has a tendency to try to prove himself and may keep it on the feet foolishly. He will do that at his own peril. I don't think that it is wise for him to do that, but if he does, it could cost him the title. Angel, I'm sorry, my friend. We're not streaming this. This is not a pirate stream, but I will do play-by-play. If you're not watching it, if you're not able to watch it, then hey, I will give you the play-by-play, let you know what's going on in the ring as it happens, and we'll talk what we saw in between rounds. So Bob, you it sounds like you don't like the wrestlers. I understand. Wrestling does slow down the fight, and if you like the striking and you want to see a striker stand and bang, then Kamaru Usman is not necessarily. He has been known to do it. The Colby Covington fight showed that he can stand and bang, but I don't think that that's a wise thing to do against Jorge Masvidal. So if the BMF belt is only for people who are going to stand and bang, then okay, I'll give it to you that we won't give it to Kamaru Usman. All right, so here we go. Of course, what we do here, let me try to get that light out of the way, is we time the Bruce Buffer's introduction so we can set the buffer factor. And the buffer factor rule is a fight needs to last at least as long as it takes to announce it. There we go. Bruce Buffer has started his introduction, the main event of the evening. All right. So here we go. We're 14 seconds into his introduction. He is now introducing the judges. Of course, we hope they don't leave this fight in the hands of the judges. Herb Dean has the call tonight for the main event. He is going to be the one who is the third man in the octagon, as John Anik likes to say. That may not bode well for the fighters because Herb Dean does let these fights go a little bit too long, a little bit too much extra damage go. So it's good if you're on the bottom, but maybe not good for your health. All right, the catchphrase is coming. All right. He's toying with us as he's getting ready to say it's time. Here we go. 1 minute, 10 seconds. It's time. All right, there it is. 5 rounds in the UFC octagon. All right, this may go a full 3 minutes if he is taking his time like this. Now, Jorge Masvidal's coming in at a plus 315. That's a pretty significant underdog. So for those of you out there who are riding on the bandwagon of Jorge Masvidal, you guys are doing it because you're showing that Florida love, because right now the odds are stacked against him. So I'm getting some questions coming in about whether or not I'm streaming it. No, I am not an illegal stream. This is a podcast, but I will be doing play-by-play. So I'll let you know what's going on. I'll tell you action as it's happening, and you'll get a good sense of what's going on. People say that they like it when I do that, so hopefully you'll stick with me. But if you don't, then maybe you'll find a pirate somewhere that's willing to take the risk of doing that illegally. Yeah. So Jake Paul's ringside. Yes, he is. I didn't see him get punked. You got to tell me what happened between him and DC. Of course, I he don't want any of DC, even though I don't think DC wants any of him either. Kamaru Usman walks all the way to the end to Jorge Masvidal. I don't think that is necessary as his name is getting announced. There you go, 2 minutes, 54 seconds. That's the time to beat. This fight needs to last at least that long if they are going to make the buffer factor. All right, here we go. Final instructions. This is it. This is the main event of the evening. UFC 261, Jorge Masvidal and Kamaru Usman. All right, Kamaru Usman is down in that crouched position like John Jones used to do. Here we go. The fight is on. Kamaru Usman takes the center of the ring. Jorge is very quick. A lot of feints from Jorge right away. We see Kamaru Usman starting to roll. Quick jab by leg kick by Jorge Masvidal on Usman, but it gets checked. Inside leg kick by Jorge. That also gets checked. And there we go. Usman is starting to move. Outside leg kick by Jorge Masvidal. Jorge is throwing with emphasis, throwing with a lot of emphasis, and we see moving around the ring is Kamaru Usman. Kamaru's throwing these jabs, one to the body, one to the face, changing levels, threatening the takedown. We'll see what happens. Jorge, of course, is feinting, really showing a lot of aggression right now, but nothing too serious. Still touching. Another 1-2 lands very stiff by Kamaru Usman. Jorge smiles back. Kamaru changes levels, feints at a takedown, but he doesn't go in. Of course, there we go with Jorge Masvidal just waiting. I think he wants to throw that knee. He's probably been training that to try to stop that takedown because he knows it's coming. But Kamaru Usman has already shown that he has willingness to stand in and throw a couple of punches with Jorge Masvidal. All right, Jorge throws a nice, strong, straight hook or a straight shot right to the chest of the champion. Champion swings around, throws kind of this looping punch that kind of lands glancing. Another jab to the body by the champion to Jorge Masvidal. Big punch by the champ. Doesn't really seem to land very cleanly. Follows it up with a jab. Jorge easily moves out of the way. They're standing right in the center of the ring. Big front kick that just threatens the champion by Jorge Masvidal, but he doesn't really throw it to try to land it. Leg kick by the champ. Body kick by Jorge Masvidal, touches with a little bit of an inside left hook by Jorge Masvidal on the champion. Just touching each other right now. Nothing too dangerous, nothing too serious. Oh, comes in with a knee, body lock, and then big takedown. Big takedown by Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman is now on top. In full guard right now of Jorge Masvidal, and that looks like where this fight's going to be for the next 2 minutes and 33 seconds. Jorge came in with a knee. These punches are to the back of the head. So Kamaru Usman is throwing punches to the back of the head. Looks like Herb Dean stopped that. The crowd is booing right now. But right now we've got Kamaru Usman on top and elbows. Jorge Masvidal is very busy on the bottom, throwing elbows from the bottom onto the head of Kamaru Usman as Kamaru Usman scoots Jorge Masvidal closer to his side of the ring or closer to the cage. And so we're seeing what's going to happen right now. Not a lot of damage being done. Oh, that was a big elbow, though, by the champ on top of Jorge Masvidal. But Jorge Masvidal seems to be the busier fighter from the bottom as slowly but surely Kamaru Usman is bringing his way to sliding Jorge to the cage. Elbows persistent from Jorge Masvidal. Jorge's trying to stand up. He's got one hand on the ground. But looks like Kamaru Usman's going to try to get him back to the ground. Looks like Kamaru's grabbing his pants there. I don't know what's going on there, but Jorge is still trying to get up. His wrestling has gotten a lot better. So now we've got Kamaru standing. All right, so Jorge is back up to his feet, but it looks like he just went back down, and he ate a couple of punches from the champ as we're going. Now Jorge is turning, and Jorge is back up, got up, and now we're back on the feet. We are throwing punches now. We are fully engaged in this fight. So inside leg kick by Jorge Masvidal. Quick lunging jab. Big right hand lands on Jorge Masvidal. Another big jab on Jorge Masvidal. So Kamaru Usman is starting to establish his striking. Jorge's backing up as we go. Now Jorge rolls out. Looks like big kick by Jorge Masvidal. That doesn't really land very cleanly. Cleanest strikes of the night has to go right now to Kamaru Usman. Landing on Jorge Masvidal. You got the takedown, those two big clean strikes. So he's winning the round with 29 seconds left. Big leg kick, though, by Jorge Masvidal there. That could pay dividends later. Another outside leg kick lands for Jorge Masvidal. So we'll see what happens there. But right now, I still have Kamaru Usman winning on the virtue of the takedown and the big strikes that he landed. Another attempted flying knee. Those flying knees definitely are ones that that's part of the arsenal for Jorge Masvidal. We've got 1 second left. That's the end of the first round. So here we go. This is what I saw. I saw a very dominant round by Kamaru Usman, but Jorge Masvidal was very busy on the ground, throwing a lot of elbows. Some of those could have easily been scored by a judge, in Jorge's favor. But at the end of the day, the two most powerful punches that were landed, the two most damaging punches that were landed by Kamaru Usman. So I give that round 10-9 to the champion. But we'll see what happens. Both of them are looking pretty good. And so we're getting instruction right now from Kamaru Usman's corner. Now we're listening to Jorge Masvidal's corner. So we'll see what happens in that round. What do you guys have? It looks like Ulfric is saying that he thought it was a good first round by Usman. I think it was. So 10-9 for Usman as we're coming into the second round. You got Colby Covington in the audience tonight. Looks like his face has been fixed. He's able to chew his gum very, very violently. All right, here we go. Round number 2 has just started. We're met at the M at the middle of the ring. All right, so here we go. Jorge Masvidal is looking very, very relaxed. Usman is working his way, keeping it moving left to right, right to left. Another inside leg kick, just touching the champ by Jorge Masvidal. Jorge's just touching him. Kamaru Usman is threatening again. Once again, he's changing levels, trying to threaten a takedown. They're looking at each other. Another inside leg kick by Jorge Masvidal. Outside leg kick comes. I don't know if it lands flushly, but it does land. So we'll see. All right. Both of them throw big punches. Jorge smiles as he backs up, throws a leg kick there. Jorge seems to be kind of enjoying this. Oh, big, huge punch by Kamaru Usman, and Jorge Masvidal is out. He's out cold. He is sleeping. He is gone. One big punch by Kamaru Usman has Jorge Masvidal lights out. He is gone. He is asleep. It's over. Alexa, stop. Even Alexa's like, he's gone. Stop. All right. Wow. Now I got Alexa playing music. Like, what is going on over here? What unbelievable. This is incredible. Unbelievable. Jorge Masvidal did not see that coming. None of us saw that coming. This is an early night. Yes. Right there. Shadow Realm. Hold on for a second. I got to tell Alexa to stop. Alexa, stop. Man. What? Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much there. There it is. I can't wait to see this replay. Okay, so Kamaru Usman's come over to Jorge Masvidal, expressing respect. I mean, what are you going to say? All right, here we go. We got the replay coming up. Basically, just Jorge Masvidal was standing in front of Kamaru Usman, and Kamaru Usman came in and put his whole body weight into the strike, and yeah, like this was I can't even, like, wow. You'll see the highlights, trust me. But it was kind of a Deontay Wilder. The lead hand grabs the guard hand, pulls it down, and then you come back with the punch coming in, and then the hammer fists, which were super necessary. Yeah, that's Deontay Wilder style of knockout right there. Yeah, it's tough to say that anyone's going to beat Usman after that. For those of you who are watching, let me know what you think about this. Second round KO by Kamaru Usman. He is still the welterweight champion of the world. Usman coach got him working on all cylinders. Absolutely. Kelechi, of course, Kelechi is a Nigerian countryman of Kamaru Usman, says hit him with all the power of, I don't know how to say that. Ogun? Is it Ogun? Ogun? I don't know. Let's see here. Night. That's what happened there. Boom. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate your support. Please support our podcast, Combat Sports Talk. We're coming to you from Dallas, Texas. Of course, we're gonna be we're gonna do our recap show tomorrow afternoon. So look for us on all of the social media platforms because we are going to be talking about this for sure. All right. Looks like the entire family is in the cage right now for Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman has his hands raised. And there it is again. I wonder how many, so remember, on the new legacy belts, right? These new championship belts are called the legacy belts. Every time you defend your title, you get a ruby added to your belt. So this is what now? 4 rubies? Because you've got the fight against Colby Covington, Gilbert Burns, and 2 against Jorge Masvidal. Now Kamaru Usman is putting the championship belt on his father, and he's giving it to his father. He said that he wanted to wait until he was actually fighting in front of live people before his father could come from Nigeria to see him. So we're going to see what Kamaru Usman says. Hopefully we get something better than what he said here.
I need to put some respect on my f***ing name.
There it is. Hopefully he'll say something a little bit, we won't have to censor it. So Jacksonville, of course, is booing. Yeah. So I'm listening to what I'm listening to what Usman is saying right now in the ring. So, yeah. So there you have it, folks. This is the end of the card. It was a quick night. Just about everything ended in a finish. Yeah. Yeah. So let's recap the entire card from the bottom to the top. Of course, in the main card we had Anthony Smith versus Jim Crute. Of course, Jim Crute was doing a great job till he got kicked in the leg, and his leg went numb, started flapping around like that, and Dr. Stoppage at the end of the first round. Second fight of the night, of course, was the horror show that was Uriah Hall versus Chris Weidman. Chris Weidman throws one kick. That one kick ends with his leg breaking, a la Anderson Silva, and the fight was ended. Then we went to the championship fights. We had Valentina Shevchenko versus Jessica Andrade. Valentina just owned Jessica Andrade in Jessica Andrade's style, which is wrestling. We had so many takedowns, so much control, so much damage, till eventually Valentina Shevchenko got Jessica Andrade in the crucifix, and there was nothing that Andrade could do to get out. Then we had Zhang Weili coming to defend her title, second title defense, versus Rose Thug No Hair Namajunas, and Rose Namajunas throws head kick destruction and finishes Zhang Weili early in the very first round. Then in the main event of the evening, we had Jorge Masvidal versus Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman finishes the fight in the second round with a huge knockout of Jorge Masvidal. So there you have it. That is UFC 261. If you want to hang around, we can talk a little bit about the card and what you think, then you can absolutely do that. We'll open up the hotline one last time. Go ahead as we listen to Jorge Masvidal speak. Yeah. So he basically the tweet the Twitterverse is being pretty brutal right now. But I think what Jorge Masvidal said, what Jorge Masvidal said is, I thought we were going to wrestle, and he showed me something I wasn't ready for. Didn't respect the power, and now we know Kamaru Usman has the power to put your lights out. Colby Covington, are you sure you want a little bit of that? All right, looks like we got Ulfric coming back. Hello, are you there?
Holy shit.
Yes.
What a fucking...
Unbelievable.
I can't believe I wasn't a fan of his earlier.
Yeah.
Certainly not a born.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Everyone says that Kamaru Usman is a boring fighter, but at the same time, it's like wrestling slows down, and unless you grew up watching wrestling or have an appreciation for wrestling, it's difficult to watch a wrestler and understand what they're doing. But Kamaru Usman is a complete fighter. So in one fight, if he has to wrestle in order to get the dominance like he did in the first fight against Jorge Masvidal, yeah, it's going to be a slow fight. And if you like striking, you're not going to see it. But tonight, you saw the other side of that. You saw that with Gilbert Burns. Like, this is a great fighter, and people need to start putting respect on his name.
Yeah, he certainly has my respect since the Burns fight. What an inspiration, too. His story is just like other great fighters, too, that have had inspirational stories and become legends, like Bisping or Francis Ngannou. Absolute legend.
Exactly. And so, yeah, go ahead.
And right now, at Usman's current trajectory, I think he has the potential to become the welterweight GOAT. Because GSP, his title defenses all went to decision. And look at Usman now. These last two title defenses, he finishes top guys.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So while he didn't finish Jorge the first time, he definitely finished him tonight. You got to finish against Gilbert Burns, and you got to finish against Colby Covington. Like, and those are not like when you start thinking about these three guys, these are not scrubs. These are not tomato cans. These are the elite in the welterweight right now, and I think that that's a fair assessment to say that when George St. Pierre got to the elite part of his welterweight reign, they were a lot of decisions, but that's because George St. Pierre, and I'm probably going to be unpopular here, and so if it's an unpopular thing, then we can definitely talk about it. George St. Pierre was a wrestler. Yes, he had his base was karate, but the fact is that as he emerged in the UFC, he was a wrestler, and wrestling is what he did first. Now, the fight against Josh Koscheck was great because he established that jab and broke Josh Koscheck's orbital. But at the end of the day, George St. Pierre was a wrestler who did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but had this karate background that really gave him good spacing and things like that.
I definitely agree 100%. As this thing said it, the easiest setup, jab, double leg.
Right.
Yeah.
And so when you look at Kamaru Usman is a wrestler, and that's his base, but you can see now that he is a striker. He can stand and bang with the most dangerous strikers out there. Name a welterweight that's more dangerous striker than Jorge Masvidal. I don't think that list is very short.
The only notable one is Stephen Wonderboy Thompson.
Right. And that's the thing is when you think about Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, we'll see what he can do because he's got to work. I think is he fighting Leon Edwards? Is that fight the fight that's booked?
No, he's fighting Burns.
He's fighting who?
Gilbert Burns.
He's fighting Gilbert Burns. That's going to be a great fight. Let's just say Gilbert Burns versus Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, because you've got these elite strikers, but Gilbert Burns also has the grappling and the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So if the fight goes to the ground, then I don't like it for Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. He's got to keep this thing on the feet to keep this competitive. And if it does stay on the feet, then I think it's going to be a good fight. What do you think about that?
Yeah, and Burns can't get caught like he did against Pettis because Burns has immense power. He was the first man to finish in Maya in over 10 years. Right.
So I can't wait to see what happens in that fight. Of course, when we start thinking about elite strikers in welterweight, that list is very short. Jorge Masvidal being probably one of the number one on the top of the list, just got finished, and he, like a sack of potatoes, got dropped. And then of course the hammer fists, which were super necessary, that put him out for the rest of the night. And there he is, the replay, the slow motion, all that jazz.
Yeah. What do you think? What's next for Jorge? I don't think he's gonna take that many fights in the top five. I think he's just gonna go for like big money fights, like a potential McGregor or Nate Diaz rematch.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna go for.
Yeah, I think the fight that everyone wants to see is Colby Covington, but Dana White already said that the next fight after this fight was going to be Colby Covington for the championship. So we're going to have to wait to see what happens with Jorge and Colby, even though that's the fight I would love to see, because of course they were roommates and they were teammates, and then they it's all soured. But
yeah, I honestly thought that Tough should have been I think I said said this maybe last stream, Colby versus winner of Usman Masvidal, because that would have generated way more views than Volk and Ortega.
Yeah.
And honestly, you know, I'm a Colby fan and an Usman fan, maybe slightly more an Usman fan now.
Yeah.
But I don't see a way how Colby can beat Usman. Colby was all, oh, give me a title shot. The fight was close. I just beat Tyron Woodley. Well, Tyron Woodley just came back after 2 losses to Gilbert Burns and Usman. So Colby didn't show anything new against Woodley. He just showed what we've already seen from him. But Usman, under Trevor Whitman, he showed his power, his explosiveness, his jab, his boxing. Usman has greatly improved since the first fight.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and you know, everyone, I think that there was that chorus of people who were saying, well, you know, the first fight wasn't fair for Jorge Masvidal because he only had six days to prepare. But you got to remember that Kamaru Usman was training for Gilbert Burns, and so he had to go from fighting a guy who was, you know, a grappler, a wrestler, and a striker to a guy who's an elite striker. And so Kamaru Usman only had 6 days to prepare, and I think that's why you saw him go back to, you know, to that wrestling base that he has. But now that he had a full training camp to train and prepare, you are seeing, like you're saying, another dimension that Kamaru Usman has added to his game after training with Trevor Whitman.
Mm-hmm. Like, I think Usman was right when he said, oh, he had a built-in excuse, because if you look at other fighters, like Paul Felder, who took a short-notice fight against RDA, or others who've lost, like Bisping and Conor McGregor, like, Conor McGregor, no matter what anyone says, he's always been humble in his defeats. Maybe he's done some trash talking on Twitter or whatever. No one really cares about that. But directly after the fight, he's always been humble and given credit to his opponent.
Sure. All right. Well, you know, as they wrap up on the show, I want to say thank you so much for calling in, and hopefully we can do this again for the next pay-per-view. We do this for every pay-per-view, and I really appreciate you calling in. Happy birthday one more time.
Great. Yeah, thanks. Quick question. You going to be championship event, Eddie Alvarez?
Say that one more time. You broke up.
Going to be streaming the Eddie Alvarez event that's this week?
I will have to look and see. Usually fights that happen during the week are pretty hard for me because of work and family responsibilities. I made a special arrangement for, you know, that couple of Wednesdays ago because Demetrius Johnson was fighting. But usually it's hard for me to stream during the week, so I will let you guys know on Twitter and on Facebook if I'm going to go live for the main event there.
All right, go. Have a good night. And
all right.
Happy birthday. Well.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yep. Bye.
All right, bye. So there you have it, folks. We are Combat Sports Talk. We do this every pay-per-view. We'll go live for the main event. Because we had 3 championships on tonight, we decided to go live for all 3 championships. But I will give you the play-by-play, the commentary, and then we can have the discussion, the hotline open for anyone who wants to call in and share your thoughts. We'll go ahead and close the hotline now, and I will start my wrap-up. So, once again, we had Anthony Smith defeating Jim Crute via doctor stoppage. Of course, we had Uriah Hall defeating Chris Weidman due to injury. We had Valentina Shevchenko defeating Jessica Andrade via TKO. Zhang Weili defeated by Rose Namajunas. Rose Namajunas landed a beautiful head kick to finish her in the very first round. And then the main event of the evening, you had Kamaru Usman knocking out Jorge Masvidal in the second round of the fight. So if you would, please find us on all of your social media platforms. Of course, let me get that lower third out of the way so you can see. We are on YouTube, Facebook. You can find our podcast on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. We are everywhere you listen to your podcast. You can find Combat Sports Talk. Of course, I am Combat Sports Talk on Instagram and MMA Podcaster on Twitter. Please support our show. this is what we do. We love to do, and we need your support in order for us to continue doing this. So once again, my name is Ryan Smith. This is Combat Sports Talk. Thanking you so much for joining us tonight. And all I got to say is this. Never forget, keep your hands up, your chin tucked, and throw bombs. We'll catch you next time.